Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Video. It looking a little laggy, man. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome to Plant a Garden TV, the home of the natural, man. Happy gardening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing wonderful at this beautiful time. Yes. All right, guys. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, man. All right, sorry for that, guys. So, what's going on, guys? Happy gardening to everyone. Shout out to each and every one of you. What's going on? Yes. Good night, guys. I know I was working on some plants there. I always try to do my experiments. So, I'm actually working on some indoor plants. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Oh, yes, 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 yes. You said it right there. I cannot wait for spring as well. I surely cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I know was working on some plants there, some because I'm doing some experiment with indoor plants. I'm trying to figure out which plant can survive without grow lights. Guys, I've learned so much in gardening. I've learned so much in gardening, and you know, if you don't try, you wouldn't know. If you don't try, you would not know. Because there's a lot of things that I didn't even know that we can do in gardening, and because of trying, I've realized it can actually work. Many people, a lot of people really believe that in order for you to overwinter plants, you basically have to have a grow light, you have to have all type of setup indoors for you to overwinter plant. But the truth is, once once you're able to keep the temperature above 35 degrees or say 37 degrees, once you're able to do that, your plants can survive, guys. You ain't got to have no grow lights. Like I keep saying, the goal is keeping the plants alive, not trying to make them produce, because we know that these plants not gonna produce indoors. There are certain plants that will produce leaf and stuff indoors, but when you talk about producing, like plants that produce, like cabbage, that have to produce, like peppers, it's hard for them to produce indoors. So keeping the plants them alive, you can do that. You don't have to spend all this money trying to get the grow light, the grow tent. All these things cost money. If you have a room, even in your garage, where you can actually keep the temperature. Once the temperature can keep below, above 35, 37 degrees, it can work. I remember this year we had winter, we had snow this season, and we get down to 23 degrees. And when you go in the room, it was so cold because in I have fruit trees in a area, and I don't have any grow lights. There's no heat in that area, no grow lights, and these plants survive. Even though it was so cold outside, it was so cold in that room. These plants did not drop a leaf. I don't have a grow light. I don't have grow tents. So if you don't try, guys, yes, sometimes we watch people and we see how people have the setup. The setup is so, nice and cool. Oh man. Hold on, guys. Give me a second, all right? I gotta keep this thing on. Yes, guys. So when you realize that this plant is actually able, like for instance, I have mango trees indoors, and these mango tree did not drop a leaf, even though, even though we know that mango tree. I gotta set up a light in here because the light only programmed for a certain amount of time, so I gotta set up a light. But anyhow, we have mango tree indoors, and these mango tree did not drop a leaf. Hey John, how you doing? John 74, how you doing? Uh, yes, everything is wonderful. Thank you for being here. Glad to have you all here tonight. Yes, we're gonna be talking about different plants, and like I say, guys, if you don't try, you would never know. If you don't try, you will never know. Now, when you look at different setup, there's setup where you have to get, like, some people, you got to get a grow tent, you got to get the setup, you got to get the whole setup of the grow tent. And in my case, if I got to buy a grow tent for indoors, this grow tent should able to help me to get eat all through the winter. If I cannot eat all through the winter from the plants them, then what's the it ain't no use for me to have a grow tent. Now I'm telling you right now because I'm talking facts, I'm talking truth. I'm not telling you guys not to buy a grow tent. I'm not telling you not to buy grow lights. I'm only sharing my experience from not using them and still able to be successful with my plants. I'm growing tropical fruit trees. Tropical fruit trees. We all know tropical fruit trees love heat. We know tropical fruit trees do not love cold weather, but I'm still able to grow them, keep them green and fresh over the winter, even though I don't have a grow light. So I'm just saying, if you don't try, you will never know. So before you invest into these things, Try if you have the space. This is for the people who have the space, because I know not everybody have the space. If you have the space, you have a little, maybe in your garage, you might have a little area in your garage. You could put the plants in there and see how it works, because it can help save you a lot of money. The goal is saving money. That's the goal. Hey Hawkins, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Glad to have you guys here. Are you guys excited that spring is around the corner? Are you guys excited? I'm mad excited because I have these plants indoors and I cannot wait to take them outdoors. I have these plants since October. I have so many plants. And I take them, I put them in October. I also have a greenhouse. Where I keep my plants them, some of my plants. But the thing is, I build my own greenhouse. The thing is, I love to, give me a second, guys. I love to experiment. Yes, I love to experiment. I love to do experiment because that's how I learn. Sorry guys for the inconvenience. The light in here, I know I was dealing with some plants, so I just decided to do a live right here. So the lights is programmed to be on for a certain time and then it shut off. So that's what I'm doing. I forgot I should have set up a light. But these light program. But anyhow, my goal is never to spend a bunch of money in gardening. That's my goal. Never to spend a bunch of money in gardening. I try to save as much as I can in gardening. Let me see, John say, thank you. Thank goodness I got heat installed in my base bed. Brought my guava and kiwi inside. In time, but soursop didn't me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, John. I'm sorry to hear that. Listen to me. The soursop, as far as I see, the soursop is very easy. Oh my goodness. From the time a coldness hit the soursop, it's gone. From the time the cold weather hit the soursop, it's gone. So I understand, bro. I understand. But I'm glad you was able to bring in most of your plants. I glad for that. Like for instance, avocado. I'm telling you right now, avocado. Avocado is a tropical plant that produce some real lovely fruits or whatever it is. And we also learn, I grew up seeing avocado tree everywhere. Never know the leaf of the avocado have benefit. Like today, they actually selling avocado leaf. You could actually go to the store and buy avocado leaf. You could actually go to the store and buy soursop leaf. These are things I never know. So this is the reason why I'm growing a lot of these fruit trees, because not really for the fruits. If they produce, I'm grateful. If they produce fruits, I'm grateful. But the leaf is mostly what I'm growing them for. We learn a lot of these leaf is loaded with benefit. Because if the tree, the root is the food is going through the to the fruit, is also going through the limb, it also going through the leaf. So yes, garden season is here and I'm excited. I'm excited. I have some avocado right now, and from my experience, the only time the weather does something to an avocado plant, it got to drop below 30 degrees. Once it drop below 30 degrees, it start coiling up the leaf. And if it's indoor, if it's in a greenhouse, it's gonna survive. But if it's outdoor where the coolness, that wind hit them, it dries up their leaf. It just dries up their leaf, and when you it just shivel. So avocado is a plant that can take cold weather. It just cannot. Yes, it just cannot deal with weather below 30 degrees. Once it's below 30 degrees, it's definitely a situation. Give me a minute, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for that. Like I said, the lightest program to cut off a certain time. Okay, guys. This you see this year, it's an avocado plant, and this avocado plant is actually 1 year old. I have several. Some of them maybe like 6 feet tall. Some of them like 4 feet tall. And this one is about 3 feet and a half tall. This is, look how healthy this plant looking. Look how healthy this plant looking. And this plant does not have a green light where it's located. The only light it have is a light from the ceiling. That's the only light it have. The room have no heat. So you could actually you could actually be getting these leaf avocado. I want you guys to do your research on avocado leaf. I don't want to tell you what to do. I like for people to do their own research. I could tell you something, but I prefer you do your own research and learn about these things for yourself. Now, with the avocado leaf, let me show you again. You see how healthy the plant looking? This is winter. We actually in the winter. Look how this plant green and fresh. And I'm telling you, no grow lights, no grow tent. It's just standing with a light over it up in the ceiling, and this is it. Now, the avocado leaf. We learned that the avocado leaf is loaded with benefit. So sometimes what I do is I take avocado leaf, mango leaf, and moringa. I take both of their leaf and I blend them up and I make my own like a smoothie. Like my peach, I might put a peach inside it, I might put a plum inside it to give it a little flavor. So all through the winter, I can get avocado leaf. And the thing is, they grow. They don't just be the same, they grow. So they keep adding fresh leaf. They keep adding young leaf. They keep adding baby leaf. So this is what I'm saying, guys. You can, without, I'm not telling you not to buy a good thing. That's not what I'm saying here, guys. I'm just saying, if you don't have the money to invest in a good thing, if you don't have the money to invest in a grow light, it doesn't mean you cannot grow. That's all I'm saying. It does not mean you cannot grow. You're still able to grow something, guys. Look at this. This is an avocado plant, 1 year old. We in the heart of the winter. This is not springtime. We in the winter. Look how healthy. So I can get leaf from the avocado all during the winter. So it's amazing. It's amazing. So, hey, Food Forest, what's up? Thank you for being here. So, it's amazing, even though, because on this channel, what we do on this channel, we try to show people, we try to show, let me put that, give me 1 second. Yes, in this channel, we try to show people that you could actually grow. You could grow without grow lights. 1 second, guys, hold on. All right, sorry for that, guys. Sorry for that. Yes, like I was saying, the light program for certain amount of time and then it shut up. But next time I'm gonna set it up different. But anyhow, guys, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised of the plants that can actually stand cold weather. You'll be surprised. The thing is, most of these plants is not that they cannot take cold weather. It's not that they cannot take cold weather. What they cannot take is the frost. The frost is what they cannot take. You know that cold frost that blows through. That's what they cannot take. So when the frost hit these leaf, it dry it up. It just turn it dry and crispy. But once it didn't get to that frost, these plants survive and they grows. They actually grows. This is inside. And if you notice here, you're gonna see. If you notice to the top, you naturally see new leaf growing there. And this is life. So you know this is life. I'm showing you. In the heart of the winter, these things still grow. So don't underestimate yourself if you want to grow an avocado plant. Don't believe that it's a tropical plant and you wouldn't able to grow it. If you don't try, you will never know. If you don't try, you will never know. So listen to me, everyone have their own experience. This is why you have to try for yourself because everyone have their own experience. All right, it might not work for someone, but it might work perfect for you. So if someone tell you, oh, in my zone I cannot grow avocado, that does not mean you cannot grow avocado in your zone, even though you're in the same zone. Once you're able to create the right climate, the right temperature for the plant, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Mango. I'm growing mango. No grow light, no grow 10. And a matter of fact, I post a video today on that, showing my fruit trees them green and healthy. Did not drop a leaf. Did not drop a leaf. And these are tropical plants. So like the tonight is, if you don't try, you will never know. If you don't try, you will never know. Don't, sometimes, yes, it's good to listen to people sometimes, but that doesn't mean you must try. Overwintering plant. Overwintering plant, like I now mentioned, guys, when you overwinter in a plant, it's not for the plant to produce. Yes, there's plants might still produce. Okay, good. All right. I now set up a light this so I ain't gotta move. Yes, there's plants that might produce, like beans, like some beans. There's beans that might produce, but not much plant gonna produce unless you have certain things set up. All right, like certain things set up for them. You have to able to create that climate for these plants to survive, or they're not gonna produce. But when you talk about fruits, it's hard to get fruit trees to produce indoors. Very hard to get fruit trees to produce indoors. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's very hard because fruit trees takes more energy to generate, to able to push out that fruit. Even peppers. I'm not saying you cannot, if you have a certain thing set up, you cannot grow peppers and they produce indoors. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm just saying they will not produce the way they would outdoors. So when you overwintering plants, remember the goal is keeping them alive. These plants, within 4 months, I maybe wet them 3 times. Within 4 months, I maybe wet these plants 3 times. Because you see, the thing is, what I realize when you wet the plants, because of the cold temperature, the soil remain moist for a long time because of the cold temperature. You're not dealing with the sun for the sun to dry it out. So you're dealing with a cooler temperature. So it takes time for it to actually, all the water to dry out. So the soil gonna keep a kind of moist. And I'm not watering them like that, but the plants them still growing. And they're not getting no sunlight. All they have is a bulb. A regular bulb, guys. So don't believe that you cannot do it. You cannot, you might have lemon tree. Lemon tree is the same thing. Once that temperature is not below freezing mark, it can survive. And sometimes it might damage the leaf. And in the spring, it just spring back. Even with lemon, because that happened to me one time. I leave a lemon tree out in the winter, and when you look at the stalk, and this is something you got to be mindful of, guys. Don't look at the stalk of the plant and believe the plant will not survive. I'm going to say this again. When you bring out your plants in the spring, if it look like it dry, do not throw it away. Give it a chance before you throw it away. I had a lemon tree. I didn't bring it. I leave it outside all winter. All winter. And the winter beat it. When I look at it, the tree was looking like it dry. And something tell me, you know what? Don't throw it a plant. Just leave the plant. And when I leave the plant, I see the greenness. The greenness start to come from the bottom. From the bottom and just start to spread. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was a sight to behold. Not that it happened one time, but all I noticed, because the whole tree was dry. And all I noticed, the greenness start coming from the bottom. So every day you get up and you look, you see like the greenness spreading. Every time you get up and you look, you see the greenness spreading till that whole tree become green and produce lime. So don't. I'm gonna show you a plant again. I'm gonna show you a plant. Give me 1 second. Yes, I'm gonna show you a plant. This plant is what we call sweet stevia. You see how this is? This is a sweet stevia. And the thing with sweet stevia is, anyhow the cold weather hit it, it's gonna dry. But guess what? It's gonna come back. So even though, say for instance, you try to overwinter your sweet stevia, You try to overwinter your sweet stevia, you bring them indoors or in your greenhouse, in your garage, wherever. And you see a thorn like this, don't throw it away. I'm telling you right now, don't throw it away. Because even though this sweet stevia thorn like this, I can show you inside of the bucket. Let me see if you can see. I hope you can see. You see inside the bucket down to the bottom? You see how it's green? You see the greenness start coming out? Right. So a lot of plants do this. A lot of plants, they could trick you. A lot of plants could trick you. And if you ain't aware, you will throw that plant away. Because you have the plant indoors, whether it's in your greenhouse, wherever, and the plant is not getting the sunlight it needs and the air that it needs and whatever it needs. And what happens is the plant might dry down. But not because the plant dry, mean the root don't have life. If you notice outside, what you see the trees do, when the coldness comes, what they do? They drop all their leaf. They dry and just drop all their leaf. But guess what? The root is still alive. This does happen to a lot of plants. They drop all their leaf, but that does not mean the root is not still alive. So just be careful out there, guys. Be mindful. Pay attention to your plants. Do your own research. Do your own experiment. That's how you learn. If you're growing in a zone, even though someone teach you something, or you learn something from someone, try and see if it works for you. All right? And sometimes you might try something and it didn't work for the first time. But that doesn't mean you give up. That means you can try again. And that's what I do. I don't just give up, I try. Or if I try and it didn't work this way, I might try another way to see what works in your zone. But I'm telling you guys, fruit trees, don't underestimate fruit trees. Even as tropical fruit trees. We know like the plum, we know the peach, we know the pear, we know these plants is actually cold hardy. We know that these plants will survive. Whether I don't care how cold it get, they're gonna come back regardless. But when you're talking about avocado, mango, these type papaya, these type of plants is actually tropical. And these plants cannot stand that cold frost. So what's gonna happen is they will drop all the leaf. And if the coldness penetrate the root too much, you could lose the plant. But what I've learned with avocado, and the only reason why I bring my avocado indoors, the only reason is because what's gonna happen is they're gonna dry down. All the leaf gonna dry down, even the stalk gonna dry. And then what's gonna happen is it's gonna start back in the spring. It start back with a fresh limb coming up. No, that's not good because you will never get this plant to produce if that's what you're doing. Why it's not going to produce? Because every year it dies down, and it push up, start over. So by starting over, it's a new start. It's a new body. You see? So now, if you save the plan, if you save the plan and you take it out in the spring, it's going to continue. Not start over. It's going to continue. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. So, yes, guys, just want to share this with you guys, you know what I mean? Because I know there's a lot of new gardeners coming out too. Because, guys, time is getting harder and harder. And if you never think about being self-sufficient in some way or the other, it's time. It's time. Try to grow something, even if it ain't much. Try to grow something. Because at the end of the day, if you're able to grow something, you have something for feed your family. Don't care how small it is. Even if it's a few lettuce, even if it's a few cucumber, it's still something. All right? And at the same time, you learning. All right? So I just want to say thank you all for coming out again tonight. I hope this information could help somebody tonight. Peace, love, and blessing to all. Happy gardening. Good night, everyone.